Hey, it's Glamham, and let's get serious about emergency communications using radio during Hurricane Helene. If you want to help or monitor, there are two websites I recommend. Hurricane Watch, which is hwn.org. That is hotelwhiskeynovember.org. Also disastersus.org. Here are the nets if you are a radio operator or even a shortwave listener who doesn't transmit, but you listen and maybe you're in a safe place with cell phone communications. You can relay some information if you hear something. So on HF, high frequency, the 20-meter band, the frequency is 14.325. On the 40-meter band, the frequency is 7.268. Now, people who are preppers or hobbyists or mistakenly never got their license because they assume that, hey, I'm covered in an emergency. Let me quickly explain why that is the biggest myth ever. The FCC views an emergency as potential loss of life and property if you have no other means of communication. If you have a cell phone and you have cell signal, that is not an emergency for the FCC if you are an unlicensed operator. Let me tell you right now, the frequencies, even if you are a prepper or a hobbyist and you do not have your ham radio license and all you have is a radio, I'm going to tell you the frequencies that you use. I have this radio here. It's an H8 model. Many people have this radio. One of the reasons I love this radio is it's legal as a ham and a GMRS radio. So, welcome. First of all, the very important thing you need to know is there are two modes in your radio. A frequency mode where you enter the frequencies and a channel mode where you store the frequencies. You do not want channel mode if you are now entering the frequency.
Channel mode.
So we don't want that.
Channel mode. Frequency mode.
So we press the button, it will say VFO or a V and an M, which stands for VFO and memory. So we're in frequency mode. On VHF, so these are VHF, UHF radios, the national calling frequency is
14650.
Okay, so you should have that programmed into your radio. You should write it down. If you have loved ones that you're getting into the hobby, that is the frequency to know. But remember, this is a true emergency if you are an unlicensed operator. If you have no need to transmit and you just want to monitor, there are emergency radios like these. I often demonstrate them when I go live, and those are great for monitoring. They do not transmit, but radios like this are good to have in an emergency. They have lighting. You can hear the weather stations. You can hear your local broadcasts. It has a giant light. So get yourself some sort of emergency radio so you at least know what's going on. People have already lost lives in this hurricane. It is terrible. So many people impacted. My heart goes out to them, and I just want people to start to get more prepared. Look how many of these weather disasters and incidents we are seeing. Look how many times we hear the word unprecedented. The most rainfall, the most wind, the most storms. Get prepared, and for communication, radio is the answer, and you will be welcomed into the hobby. Many people have also asked me about the actual weather that's happening. I'll save that for another video. In the meantime, please stay safe. If you're a radio listener, please listen on those stations, see if there's anyone you might help, and maybe a life you might save. See you in the comments. Take care.